Good old outdoors. Feels good out here today.
Oh yeah, it's a nice breeze.
Sun's bright. Sun's out. It's noon. What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Red Beard's Garage. Is it noon? No. It's 10:19 in the morning. We up early.
We got started early today. Most people like it's almost lunch.
I'm up since 6. You know, the thing about YouTube is you can't have any surprises. You know by the title, we're building an overlanding trailer for go-karts. That's why we wanted the Briggs that we teamed up with Small Engine Warehouse, and they sent us out that Briggs for that buggy. So we have a 2-seater so we can, like me and Lonnie, go on a boy date in the woods where no one can hear you.
I'm uncomfortable.
So we teamed up with Harbor Freight for this build. As you can see, we got a lot of good stuff, and there's more going to come in the future, but this is what we needed to mainly start. So we're going to really quickly go through the parts, and then we're going to go over our design. We have copied several people, get over it, but we're like using aspects from what other people has done and building our own trailer. This is going to be as small as possible, but yet not small, if that makes sense. It's going to have a clamshell tent. We don't have a tent, so we're just going to build it best. I didn't want to spend $1,400 to start this project, let's face it. So we have a Predator 5,000 watt super quiet inverter generator. This is one of the nicest generators I've ever had. It's really sweet. So this will be on there to run the campsite once we set up camp. Have a tongue box, a 6,000 pound winch. The winch won't be hard mounted on the trailer. It's going to be caddy mounted so we can move it. Harbor Freight sent us 4 of these chairs. These are actually super nice.
I like them a lot.
I didn't even know Harbor Freight had chairs.
I'm gonna get these just for hanging out on the patio.
We're going to do these in our kitchen.
Stand up and model your chairs because you can't see them.
But it's got tactical bags on each side.
Well, one side, the other side's got your table.
Yeah, they're really nice. We got 4 of these chairs, and then we got 4 hammocks to go with, because I'm going to be in a tent, bougie style. Lonnie's going to be in a derelict piece of cloth hanging from a branch.
I prefer hammock life.
We have 200 watt solar panels. These are like a 4 bank. I don't know if we can fit both of them, but we're going to put them on top of the clamshell, the hard shell tent, so we can charge our batteries while we're riding. We're going to have 2 lithium batteries inside of this, just 12 volt, and that's going to run mainly the 12 volt A-frame trailer jacks. These are electric jacks we're going to use as outriggers. I know some people will say you might not need them. We're going to do it because it's going to be cool. When you get there, you can slide out these X frames and you can level out the trailer so you're not on rubber tires. Because when we built the bus, we have no way to level it out. If you move your foot in that bus, she goes to rocking. And she be rocking, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, we got a recovery strap. We got the shovel. I'm excited about that. Been wanting that for a while, little shovel.
A little knick-knack.
I'm a knick-knack guy. And we got a tree trunk strap and then a soft shackle. So again, this is most of our stuff that we're going to need. We're going to need a lot more as it goes on. So now we can go over the design aspect of it, how we're going to build it. We're going to build suspension first, then go to the frame of the trailer. So we'll go over to my graphing paper and we'll figure that out. Guys, we're going to take a real quick break to shout out the sponsor of today's video, which is Blaster, and we're going to be talking about their OG PB Blaster. They've been in the game since 1957, and forever this was the only product that Blaster has. Now they've completely changed that, and they're coming out with all types of stuff to make your life in the garage easier. But PB Blaster makes it easier by eating its way through rust. As I grew up, this was the first thing we grabbed when we had a rusty old bolt or rusty nut and we needed to get it off. If you hose this stuff down on the bolt that you're trying to get off, it'll actually eat through the threads and it can actually climb up a bolt. Shown on screen is Blaster actually working its way up a bolt and in the threads of a nut. This stuff actually works extremely well, especially if you spray it beforehand, probably like 20 minutes before you're actually going to work on the lawnmower or car or whatever it is. Hose it down beforehand, it'll work its way in there and help you break that bolt or nut loose without having to bust your knuckles. So make sure to check out Blaster. All their products are located in the video's description. They help the channel out, so thank you, Blaster, for sponsoring another video. We use gallons of this stuff every month, probably too much. Thank you, Blaster, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to the trailer build. What I've come up with, and I could be wrong, we're gonna figure this out. We've never done it before. I've never built a trailer. One, I've never did suspension on a trailer. This will have independent suspension so you can crawl over rocks. We're gonna use 26-inch tires, the same tires they're shown on camera, which are on the 999. So you see the black rims. It's a good combo. So we got these trailer hubs and stub axles. These are extremely cheap. You get everything right here for like 60 or 70 bucks, which is crazy. You're getting the bearings and everything. These are trailer bearings, so they're going to be way overkill for what we're using them for. We're also going to be using QS Components Heim joints. These are 1/2 inch, but they're the Fat Daddy 1/2 inch for bigger tube. So we're going to have dual Heim joints on each trailing arm. So this is what I've came up with ish. This is very crude and simple drawing. So these are Heim joints. We're going to have 1 1/4 tubing, 90-degree bent, and then we're going to make some plates that go right here. It's going to be 3 plates. In the center of these plates is going to be the stub axle. So the stub axle is going to come out like that. There's the threads. So that's how it's going to be, and then we can X this out in however we see fit, or we could even build a plate to weld over top to encapsulate it off the plasma table. That's probably what we'll do. Be quicker, you know, instead of cutting a bunch of little pieces of tubing. So we'll have trailing arm on each side. We'll use go-kart shocks. We'll probably use a stiffer boy because we want it to, we don't want it loose suspension, but we don't want it stiff as a board either. So that's basically what we're going to do. These plates that we're building, we're going to have one, this is a very crude oval that has a 1 1/4 hole in the center, and that's for that stub axle. Then we'll have 2 plates that's got 3 1 1/4 holes, and that's the ones with 3 holes is here. It encapsulates all 3 and can weld around it. And then right there, we're wanting to support that stub axle as much as possible so we don't bend it or break it or whatever. Shouldn't. I would say this trailer, I mean, with the generator and everything, you gotta think we're gonna have a tote, a waterproof tote with clothes, sleeping bags, stuff like that, food, ice, coolers. So it's not gonna weigh as much as a buggy, I wouldn't think. I mean, a buggy can weigh anywhere from 700 to 1,000 pounds. So we haven't bought, like, I'm not gonna buy Yeti, I can tell you that. I'm not a name brand type person with stuff like that, but if anybody is experienced using the cheaper Yeti style coolers, let us know, because I am in the market for a cooler that'll last a real long time. Now I know, pro tip, I didn't know coolers are rated if you pre-cool them. Like, you're not supposed to just throw ice in them the day you're going to the beach. You're supposed to put it in the night before, get it to temperature, and then the next morning replenish the ice and put your stuff in it. So it's set at the temperature. That's how a Yeti is rated, and they're rated without opening the lid. They'll say they'll hold ice for 72 years. Don't open it. So I don't want to buy a Yeti, but if anybody has an affordable cooler that holds ice really well, let me know. I don't want to go with electric because I don't want to be pulling down our batteries. It would be nice, but then you're constantly worried about, and they're so thick because of the cooling aspect, you get less interior volume.
Yes.
We get what you're putting down.
Yep. So this is the way the trailer's going to be. Pretty simple. A-frame trailer. This is 4 foot, well, that's inches, 4 foot by like 4 foot 6 inches wide. I wanted a little wider than it is long, just because I'm going off Chinese measurements on the tent. So we're doing the best we can. So this is going to be 1 inch square tubing, the main frame that goes to here. Then this will be a piece of 2 inch tubing, so we can have a boltable hitch option, so we can have a standard 2 inch ball receiver. So if Lonnie want to take his wife out in the woods, you know, and treat her to a nice date, you can tow it with a standard car on the road. But then we're going to build some type of, I've looked at the lock and roll receivers. They're very expensive, $500. I can build that. I'm not paying that. Come on, lock and roll, what are you doing? So we need a receiver that has a lot of rotation, up, down, side to side, but you don't want it to be infinity, because I don't want my trailer to flip if we got in something. I want it to have a stop, so I might use U-joints. Do have some Polaris Razor drive shafts over there. Cut them puppies down, make an off-road trailer hitch. Is this too much talking? I feel like. This is graphing paper. This is made from trees. This is Quantum Machinery Group. So we're gonna start with the trailing arms first, get those out of the way, because they're pretty simple-ish. And then what we need to do is get our square tubing inside. I am gonna have to go buy this 2 inch or bigger square tubing for this main tongue. Oh, so total length of the trailer is gonna be 7 foot from ball to back, here to here, 7 foot long, 4 foot 6 inches wide. What we're thinking is our clamshell trailer is 7 foot by 4 foot. So what I'm thinking is it'll overhang a foot off the back, 2 foot over the tongue of the trailer. Me and Lonnie discussed this, we think that'd be great.
It'll work.
It'll work just fine. So We got bend some 1 1/4 tubing, 90 degrees to make these legs. That's not these legs. That was last year's design. This is the new one. So it'll be like that. So we need to bend this one first, then lay it out, figure it out, and just do it. It ain't gonna be that hard.
Lay it out, figure it out, do it.
That's it. So let's uncover this old hoss, and then we can get to work. We're gonna bend 4 of these. One trailing on. It'll be cut down a little bit more than that. Again, these will be cut down on this end, but this is how long my trailing arm is going to be. I want it long. So, and the reason we're doing this longer is because under the trailer, you're going to have this trailing arm coming down, which is going to be a hit point for rocks and stuff. So we want this. This is probably going to be the heaviest part of the trailer, you know, per capita, because it's going to be longer to have more of a slant. So if it's shorter, it'd be more abrupt and it would hit rocks. Then we can make some boxed tabs for it out of 3/16 most likely. If I had quarter, I'd probably do it out of quarter. Guess what? Your boy don't have quarter. I'm trying to use what we got. And we'll do like some box so it's like rock sliders, the heim joint ends. So we got to cut our other 2, and then we can start figuring up the whole setting of this. I just thought this one's actually going to be shorter because it's going to be like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
All right, so this has nothing to do with the overlanding build, but we got to get this heavy hog off here. We got a limiting strap. Exhibit A, pulling against the engine hoist area, because these engines do have places to hook a cherry picker to them. But I'm not going to rely on it picking up all this weight. This isn't crazy. I'd like to have one of the scales that go right here, but we don't. So I'm going to take these Sigma blocks off, and it should be balanced. We got a ratchet strap going to each wheel hook.
Alright.
Alright. So once you got it lifted up, okay, now hand me these are hand tied. The front one's fine.
Some sort of trash under the front tires.
There you go.
Sorry.
Okay, got the shifter mechanism. Watch here. Okay. Please, they may, it's like, can someone please reinvent the wheel on a cherry picker? Alright, now push it back forward, kind of around the end. Now if this falls, we just move. Don't try to catch it. Everybody. So we got that a little high because I didn't want it to set. We can weld gaps around here, and I cleaned that way off. So we'll have to unclamp this, pop it out real quick to clean both sides. But so we'll clamp this down, and I'll be able to do a nice bead all the way around this, and then we're going to space the next level out 4 inches, so it'll be 6 inch. This whole side area will be. I would have done it at 1 1/4 or 1 1/2 inch square tubing, the whole frame. Don't have it, not buying it. So we're using this scrap stuff. We get not scrap, it's new steel. It's been outside for 27 years. It's prehistoric. So we'll get this all welded. Then we're going to do a cross X beam. Then we can pull this whole thing out and build another one in this jig here. Then we can set this one back in after building that square, pop it down in here, and then be able to finish it, like tie it together. Then we can figure out, then we can flip it upside down to do our trailing arms. Capiche?
Capiche.
Capiche. right, so we have the trailer flipped upside down. We have almost everything done. So what we did was knocked out one of the wheel studs to clamp this dead square on the table. So we have 2 bolts in that, which means this is square on the table. Then we shimmed it to get our right alignment and put stops on the table there. So we know our trailer is square this way, and we know this spindle is square to the trailer and not like cambered or castered or anything like that. So we can weld on the front tab. So what we did was made some long boy 27s. Then we have some caps that will weld on them to help protect them. These are longer. Our first version was shorter. It was too tall. I thought this would be more of a hang up. So once these are plated on top, as well as a small plate on back, they'll be able to take a hit and be perfectly strong. So that's basically the underside of the trailer. We are going to add to this X. We're going to have one down the center and one that way. Then we're going to plasma cut a big plate to circle that whole setup right there, so it's super strong. Maybe a lot of it's overkill, maybe not. I just want to know. I mean, crap, we're building it, so let's make it as strong as possible. So we have these all squared up. I'm going to tack these into place. Then we can tack the plates on, and I'll weld most of it with the heim joints bolted in there because I don't want it pinching in. I have some spacers on each side, some cardboard spacers. It's going to help it where it don't draw up too much. All right, so we have a lot done. Some of it we did off camera, some of it we did on camera. But we got our 2-inch receiver bolted on there. We just used 3/8 bolts. That'll be plenty strong because, again, we're going to have a different setup to do our lock and roll. Everything, it's 80% welded, but we did these heavy duty heim joint supports. And what we also could do, don't have to, we could put like a little fin to kick stuff over the heim joint. But, you know, those are strong heim joints. QS component only makes it best. But these are perfectly square to the trailer. That's what I love about having a Sigma table. We squared up the frame in the table, and then we clamped on a stop onto this so it's dead straight. So you can see how the suspension works. We might do an airbag right here and then a shock instead of using coilovers. I'm thinking because we can buy 2 airbags with 6.5 inch of travel for 70 bucks, and we could set them at 1 psi, like, you know, 100, 200 psi, and it's fully adjustable like that. And then we have shock absorbers to keep the bounce out of it. Probably what we're going to do, I feel like. And it keeps it like super contained too, being an airbag. Let us know what you think. But I think this is it for episode 1. What we're going to do is flip this over so we can show what it's going to look like. We'll set up on jack stands. But we don't have our wheels yet. We'd have to steal them off the buggy and stuff. But let us know what you think. If you see any problems with it, keep them to yourself. No, let us know. We'll read your comments. I mean, we never built a trailer before. Will this work? Sure. Could it have been better? Maybe. I don't know. You tell us. You tell us how we're idiots. So we're gonna flip this hoss over, and I think it'd be good to get a thumbnail like this too. All right, guys. So the trailer, the first part of this is all done. We're gonna get some more tubing so we can stiffen up the frame even more. We're gonna gusset some sides because I don't want any kind of flex in this trailer. And that's one downside to using 1-inch square tubing. This is all 1/8 inch thick walled 1-inch square tubing. And this is going to be super beefy when we get done. So we do have some airbags on order. We bought a full kit for like $210. It came with 2 6.5 inch airbags with the air pump, the gauge and everything. So we can air the trailer down if we like when we get to camp. And we are going to build a little deck onto this because when I want Lonnie to be able to sleep on the deck of this trailer, and I will be above him on the tent if he wants to, and that'll keep like morning dew off of him and stuff like that. So the gate, since this is only, we went with a 5 foot by 4 foot trailer. We was going to do 4 foot by 4 foot. This is actually 5 foot long, so that's going to be Lonnie will need another foot or 2 of trailer to be comfortable to sleep. So the gate is going to have some tie rods, basically some turnbuckles that you can latch in and make the gate flat. That'll extend this like 2 or 3 feet. So let us know what you think of this trailer. Did you see anything? If you've built trailers, did we do anything wrong? I think this is going to be super strong, but we got a lot of parts coming to finish this off. So in a week or so, we'll be back on this to get it done. Then we're going to hook it up to a buggy, drive it around the woods, and see how it handles with weight on it and stuff. So let us know what you think, guys. Make sure to check out the Blaster links in the video description. Without Blaster, this video would not be possible. So thank you so much, Blaster. We've been using their stuff in the shop for a long time, and we absolutely love them. You guys know, if you watch the videos, we use the FAR Allo Blaster. So thank you, Blaster. Make sure to check out those links. Let us know about the trailer, what you think of it, and we'll see you on the next ones, guys. We love you, and God bless.